When Story Becomes Identity, Series 8, Episode 3. Opening Reflection. A story becomes powerful when it stops being about an event and starts being about who you believe you are. It is one thing to think that didn't go well. It is another to think I am someone who always gets it wrong. The first is situational, the second is identity. Your nervous system reacts more strongly when identity is involved. A mistake feels heavier when it confirms a long-held belief. A rejection feels sharper when it echoes an old narrative. A disagreement feels threatening when it touches a core story about worth. You feel it physically. A tightening behind the shoulders, a firming of the jaw, a subtle heat along the collarbone, a small drop in energy behind your eyes. The body is not reacting to the moment alone. It is reacting to the meaning attached to self. Old you did not separate the two. An event became evidence. Evidence became identity. Identity shaped behaviour. If the story was, I am not valued, you withdrew or overperformed. If the story was, I am too much, you softened yourself. If the story was, I am not enough, you chased validation. Integration deepens when you learn to unhook identity from temporary experience. An event can be real, a feeling can be valid, a reaction can be understandable. But identity does not have to be rewritten every time something uncomfortable happens. You are not your last interaction. You are not your worst moment. You are not the story your nervous system formed in protection. When you begin to see identity attaching itself to story, you regain choice. You can ask, is this about what happened or about what I think I am? That question creates space, and space softens reaction. Maturity is not the absence of story, it is the awareness that story is not self. Example 1, the mistake. You forgot something important. There is a sudden warmth in your chest. Your jaw tightens. Old story. I always mess things up. The event was a mistake. The identity becomes I am careless. Old you spirals into self-criticism. Now you separate layers. Event, I forgot. Identity, I am careless. You correct the event without attacking the self. The body settles more quickly. Example 2, the social moment. You say something in a group and it lands flat. There is a slight contraction in your throat. A heat near your temples. Old story, I'm awkward. Event, a comment didn't land. Identity, I'm socially incompetent. Old you withdraws or overcompensates. Now you breathe. You let the moment pass. You do not convert one interaction into a permanent trait. Your nervous system recovers faster. Example 3, the boundary. You express a boundary and someone reacts negatively. There is tension along your shoulders, a pull to apologise. The old story, I am difficult. Event, someone dislikes the boundary. Identity, I am too much. Old you rescinds the boundary. Now you allow the discomfort. You maintain your position calmly. You recognise discomfort in others does not define your character. Identity remains stable, the moment passes. Reflective questions. 1. What identity story do I attach to mistakes? When I feel rejected, what belief about myself surfaces? Do I turn single events into permanent self-descriptions? Where does my body react strongest when identity is triggered? Who am I if the story is removed? Integration practice. For the next week, practice separating the event from identity. When something activates you, name the event clearly. Name the identity story that follows. Ask whether the identity is fact or protection. Then respond only to the event. Leave identity untouched. This builds internal steadiness. This builds narrative freedom. Closing meditation. Recall a recent moment that felt personal. Notice the event. Now notice the identity story attached to it. Feel where it lives in your body, in your jaw, chest, throat, temples. Now gently say to yourself, this happened. That does not define me. Breathe slowly. Let the story loosen. You are larger than the narratives you inherited. Carry that spaciousness forward. Thank you.